A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
So as everybody knows by now, we went in there and laid it to Iran, man. Like quickly. I mean, there wasn't even any kind of resistance. There was no battle there. I mean, we just went in there and kind of just decimated this country and killed their leader too, possibly even their president. As of right now, as of the last that I've heard, nobody knows where he is. They haven't heard from their president. And we've killed all kinds of their military leaders. I mean, we just, within a matter of hours, went in there and decimated this country. I mean, it was shocking. I mean, I know last time with this bomber strike that we had, it was pretty quick and, over with, pretty quickly. I just thought we were in for a much bigger fight than what we're seeing. I mean, with all the tough talk, I mean, these people are pretty cocky, you know what I mean? I mean, they got some balls, dude. They were standing up pretty firm and throwing some pretty hefty rhetoric at us. I mean, I was really expecting some sort of resistance. I mean, but like I said, within a matter of hours, I mean, overnight, we went in there, decimated a bunch of their bases and palaces, and straight up killed their leader and possibly other high-level officials. It's just crazy to me that they would stand up with so bravado and have no pushback. They had no ability to kind of put any kind of action behind all that tough talk. It's crazy, but I mean they're not just laying down and letting it happen. They've been doing some bombing. They've hit Israel. They've hit all kinds of other countries, actually. I mean, Saudi Arabia, they were hitting hotels in Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Kuwait, just all kinds of other countries they were hitting. And I don't know. I don't know where we're going from here. What I can absolutely guarantee, though, that this is really it's just the beginning. There's a much larger campaign at hand here that's just about to get underway real soon that they're not really publicizing or promoting to the people yet. This is going to be a very long, drawn-out war, a campaign of absolute devastation is what we're about to see, and we're just seeing the beginning of it. The other day, and I wasn't really real, I didn't really know all this, but the other day when I was looking into just everything that's going on over there, I seen a clip where just recently Israel's former Prime Minister Naftali, which is running and looking to be the next Prime Minister, he straight up stated live at a speech in front of the public that the next target, the next Iran, the next bullseye on the list is Turkey, the country of Turkey.
A new Turkish threat is emerging. I want to be very clear. Turkey and Qatar have gained influence in Syria, are seeking influence elsewhere and everywhere throughout the region. And from here, I warn, Turkey is the new Iran. Erdogan is sophisticated, dangerous, and he seeks to encircle Israel. And while some senior Israelis were on Qatar's payroll, Qatar and Turkey are nourishing the Islamic Brotherhood monster that is growing and eventually might become as dangerous as the one created by Iran. Turkey and Qatar are gaining influence not only in Syria, but also in Gaza, through the front door, and everywhere, and trying to create a new choke ring. Turkey is trying to flip Saudi Arabia against us and establish a hostile Sunni axis with nuclear Pakistan.
That's not going to be some battle against a militant country like Iran. Just this, they almost seemed non-organized, maybe just like this, just radical militant country, right? But Turkey's that's a different story. They're a little bit more sophisticated, more disciplined, more organized. That's not going to be an easy one. And it's going to draw in a lot more countries into this. Actually, if you look into this, and Mike Huckabee just the other day on Tucker Carlson, he pretty much admitted this. He pretty much laid it bare to everybody. And I think this is what we're seeing. We're going to see this happen in just the coming weeks, coming months, that Israel really should, and if they want, and I think we all know that they do want this, should take the whole Middle East pretty much and recapture that as their land. And I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not going one way or another what should happen. I'm just telling you that is in the cards.
Israel is a land that God gave through Abraham to a people that he chose. It was a people, a place, and a purpose. We can look at it that way. Christian Zionism, I want to go back because that's where we started.
I'm not going to let you off on this because you have said it 3 times that God gave this land to this people. And so it is entirely fair for me with respect to ask, what land are you talking about? Because I just read Genesis 15, as I have many times. Mm-hmm. And that land, I think it says, from the Nile to the Euphrates, which is, once again, basically the entire Middle East. So God gave that land to his people, the Jews, or he didn't. You're saying he did. What does that mean? Does Israel have the right to that land? Because you're appealing to Genesis.
Yeah.
You're saying that's the original deed.
It would be fine if they took it all.
That's coming down the pipeline. They are gearing up to have an offensive all across the Middle East to reclaim the land that was promised way back in the day, thousands of years ago. God promised Abraham, the Jews, Israel. Well, today, the Israel we see is, it's a pretty small place. It's, like the size of New Jersey. I mean, it's relatively small. But the original land that was promised is way bigger. It's a huge chunk of real estate. It encompasses like all of Jordan, pretty much all of Syria, like about half of Iraq, a huge chunk of Saudi Arabia. I mean, it even goes down over into Egypt, a pretty decent chunk of Egypt, and even a little piece of Turkey. As you can see, Turkey's next on the list. That's the next bullseye. As you can see, that this man is saying it right here, and he's not just some random dude talking. This is the former and probably next prime minister of Israel. Look, we're headed for a very long, drawn-out, multiple area of, war fighting, a campaign that's going to last, in my opinion, the better part of a year, if not more. This isn't going to be some, quick in and out. We're going to be there for a long time. And that, my friends, if you think, let's think. Let's just go back, not too long, a couple months. They've been gearing us up for this in a subliminal but very in-your-face way. They've been talking and hinting about the resurrection of a draft, the reinstatement of this mandatory military, draft for pretty much everywhere. Israel's talking about it. Well, obviously it's a different war, but I think it's all going to be coming together. Russia, Ukraine, they're all, hinting to this massive mandatory military buildup. And Pete Hegseth.
We're asking mothers and fathers across America to trust us with their most precious resource, their sons and daughters. And we will honor their trust and their sacrifice.
We're all pretty much getting ready for this mandatory military draft that will bring in all of our sons and daughters into this war that, in my opinion, it's not going to be an easy win. it might not even be a win. It might be an absolute, total, complete destruction for everybody involved. And I think that will, because look, man, we're dealing with very real and devastating capable weapons all across the planet. And it seems like all these nuclear powers, they're in some kind of major conflict with somebody right now. I mean, they all have some sort of adversary they need to eliminate off the map. And somebody is going to end up using one of these nuclear weapons. We're going to see a nuclear detonation at some point, somewhere, and that's just going to be a domino effect. It won't stop there. Every country that has these weapons will take that as an opportunity to use theirs to annihilate and eliminate and delete their enemy. And it's just going to be all out, absolute, a colossal catastrophe all over this planet. That's what we're seeing. That is exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing the beginning. This isn't, you ain't seen nothing yet. It's on the forefront. Yeah, I don't know. So, as a matter of fact, I think real soon here, if you think it's tough now, and pretty much every American's feeling some kind of pull on their resources, so it's rough right now. If you think things are bad now, just give it a little bit. I mean, it's Sunday. Tomorrow, when the stock market opens up, I mean, oil, in my opinion, is going to skyrocket, which all of our gas and fuel is going to skyrocket. That's going to affect not just, your driving or your ability to fuel your appliances, but it's going to drive up prices for everything, shipping, trucking. I mean, food, every single thing's going to go up from this, especially if this is drawn out. And I really don't see an ulterior conclusion than this to be a drawn out, just all-encompassing world war. That is what we're seeing, the beginning of World War III. That's exactly how I see it. And sadly, I don't want to be, but I think I will be proved right here soon. You're going to see an emerging of countries just joining this fight. It doesn't matter what side they're on, because the destruction will affect everybody. Every single person on this planet, I think, at some point will be affected tremendously by what we're seeing, what's coming. It's absolutely coming. It's unavoidable. There's nothing me or you or any average citizen, there's nothing we can do to influence the path that we're going down. It's like set in motion. It's set in motion. As a matter of fact, very eerily, everything that I'm seeing and everything that I've been researching and looking into, it seems like all these rabbit holes, they point me, and no matter how much I try to redirect my conclusions, it points me right back to the Bible, man. It's like everything that we're seeing. This is all Bible stuff, man. This is extremely precisely mimicking what it says in the Bible that's going to happen at the end days. I think we're definitely seeing the preface to these, prophesized warnings about, the end of everything. I mean, it really does look like that. Look at all these countries that are over there and embroiled or soon to be embroiled in this skirmish, this conflict. Every single one of these countries that are in our headlines right now are mentioned, are talked about as the countries that, form this coalition against Israel in the end. And look, I'm not like standing up or taking sides with Israel or anybody. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. As a matter of fact, I stand aside from this. I don't have any kind of, allegiance to any country or man. I'm telling you what it looks like. It definitely seems like either every country in the world is in like alignment and agreement, and they're they're playing some kind of big prank on all of us, you know, the regular people, and they're trying to fake us out and make us think that we're facing these end times, you know, trying to make us think that that's where we're at. Or this is really happening. I mean, I don't see any other alternative, you know, hypothesis or conclusion. It's one of the two. Either we're being faked out and psyoped into thinking that we're, you know, in these end days, which I don't see what they would really get out of that. I don't see what they would accomplish by panicking the whole planet, you know, because at some point it's going to be hard for anybody. People who just refuse to believe, at some point you're going to be forced to at least acknowledge that something's going on, people. There's something going on. It's my opinion that real soon, and not just my opinion, it's been written, and real soon, by force or by faith, you're going to be forced to acknowledge that something is going on, and it's a lot bigger than us. It's bigger than humans. It's bigger than mankind. I don't know. It's hard to dismiss. It really is. It's hard to wrap my head around this and come to a more logical conclusion, because like I said, every single thing just seems to be falling in place. And if this is true, then we're going to be seeing a lot more significant things roll down the pipeline. We're going to be seeing, and again, as these happen, it's going to become harder and harder to dismiss or unacknowledge the fact that thousands of years ago, men have written about these very times very precisely. I mean, extremely accurately, they have predicted exactly what we're seeing. I mean, down to the countries, people. If we start seeing these other things, I mean, look, it's time to, you know, humble yourself, put all your skepticism and stubbornness to the curb and pay attention, and just humble yourself for just a minute and look into this. You'll see it is extremely eerily perfectly aligned with what this says. It's crazy. I've tried to debunk it. I've tried to dismiss this. I've tried to look into this and find another reality of what's happening, and I can't. I just can't. And look, dude, I'm a skeptic. You know, I go down rabbit holes. I try to find the truth behind the headline, and I dig deep, and I just can't see another reality of what's happening. I mean, even though it sounds kind of far-fetched, people, I mean, it's very, I mean, explain it. Explain how this could be so precise. It's happening. If we start seeing, like, well, even this peace board.
I believe it's the most consequential board, certainly in terms of power and in terms of prestige. There's never been anything close, because these are the greatest world leaders. Almost everybody's accepted, and the ones that haven't will be. You know, some are playing a little cute. It doesn't work. You can't play cute with me. But they're playing a little bit. But they're all joining. Everybody, most of them very immediately. A few that we really don't want because they're trouble. Take care of them. But this is the most prestigious board ever put together.
It's like, that's talked about. You know, there's a covenant with many that have happened. That's talked about. This war that's happening. I mean, this war has the potential, and I think that we're facing this to be colossal. And it talks about this war. It says that 1/3 of all living humans, mankind, 1/3 of mankind will be eliminated in this war. I definitely see that as a possibility. Look at the weapons we have, the capabilities. I mean, these weapons, we have the very real capability of destroying this whole planet in like a day, an hour, really. I mean, if we wanted to, if everybody decided to, you know, use their capable might, we could destroy this planet in just a day. And it looks like that we're gearing up for something. One of these countries, one of these nuclear powers is going to make a move and make a detonation that's going to just be a domino effect. It's going to set off a chain of apocalyptic events, and the whole world will be affected by this. I hope I'm wrong. I do. But it just looks like, it looks like we're going down that road. There's a pattern here that is unmistakable, in my opinion. Like I said, I haven't lived that life. I'm not a theologian. I'm definitely not a preacher. I'm not here preaching to you. I'm trying to say, look, check this out. Look what I'm seeing. You're seeing it too. I think a lot of people might be consciously dismissing this and ignoring it because they don't want to process this, or a lot of people might not be seeing these extreme similarities. They're distracted by the news and domestic, problems and struggles and financials, and I get that. But if you look at this, and at some point you're not going to be able to overlook what's going on, because right now everything seems to be over there and we're here nice and cozy and within our borders. But I don't think we're immune to any kind of physical conflict right here. I think at some point we might see that. I think that's a very real possibility with all our technology, our drones, and not just us, other countries, people who do not like us. This other side, I guess if you want to put it, they just do not like us. They hate us. We are the infidel. They have been born and raised and just brainwashed, hypnotized into absolute disdain for anybody from the West, anybody from a Christian foundational, culture. They absolutely hate. They're never going to change. I mean, I'm sure you have people over there who don't agree with the system they got going on, but the vast majority, they have been reared and fashioned in a way to absolutely hate us. And that's not going away. You're not gonna detach, and you're not gonna pry people from their beliefs. I think that's an impossibility, man. That's an impossibility. This is a never-ending conflict with, to me, no resolution in sight. I mean, absolute collapse. That's what we're seeing. This war is going to bring absolute global collapse at, not tomorrow. It's going to work its way down the pipeline, but that's where we're headed. Absolute civilizational collapse all over the planet. And it's going to be due to this long, drawn-out, devastating war. And then, look, man, not to add fuel and more conspiracy to it, but look what we're facing also. The planet, man. The planet seems to be groaning, like pushing back, like hinting, trying to, wake people up. There's something going on with the planet too, and it's not seasonal. This isn't like normal shit. Solar flares, earthquakes everywhere, volcanoes. I can keep going on. I mean, it's just, the planet is just straight up groaning and resisting what is taking place in our material realm, our human existence. It seems like it's a direct response from what's going on. I mean, again, could I be wrong? Sure. But it just seems, everything seems to fit. There's a large picture that's being drawn. And at some point, you're not going to be able to unsee what's happening. Like I said, through force or faith, you're going to be forced to see what's happening. It says, you will be forced. You will know that I am God. And I think a lot of people are starting to realize that right now. I mean, they might be still pushing back, and I know it's hard to process. It is for me. But, I mean, look at everything that's going on right now. There's other things that seem to be hard to process and straight out of science fiction, but it seems to be real right now. So I think we're in a time in history where everything that you thought is fantastical or mythical has very real tangible possibility and probability happening right now. Or like crazy interdimensional beings and UFOs, and I can go on, but the only thing I think I know for a fact is something huge is brewing, and we need to get ready. I think we're seeing the end, man. I do. I hope I'm wrong, but it looks like that. I just don't see how we're going to like calm everything down, how we're going to like bring this to a slow roll and eventual stop to all this aggression. I don't see that we're ever moving backwards, and we're never gonna climb out of this pit of chaos that we're in. I don't think that's a possibility, man. We have gone too far. I don't know. Look, man, that's enough for today. I just thought I'd get in here and rant. We're in the middle of a war in the Middle East, and I don't know. What happened to peace in the Middle East? What happened to the golden age, this peaceful age we're supposed to be having? It's everything but. We're going in the exact opposite direction. But anyways, listen, I hope everybody has a great day today, and please subscribe to the channel, like, and until next time, thank you for watching.